It's that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. You could smell it in the air. The grass. You get the feeling of going up to the stand and getting yourself a hot dog and
Oh yes.
getting ready to go down to your seat and just getting the sounds of the ball hitting the glove and the bat and such. It's here.
It's here.
Baseball season has arrived, and I tell you, if you're not excited, uh, there's not a sense of Americana for you.
Right, right.
uh, how many people you running that you know are not like big baseball fans? Like how many people you know aren't into it?
Well, believe it or not, it's becoming more than less. But I guess I could say it's still a decent amount. It's still a decent amount. We come across, they have their favorite teams. Once again, we hear it every year. This is going to be the year. I know it. This is going to be the year.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it's still quite a bit. Still quite a bit.
yeah,
I'm,
definitely.
yeah,
I,
I'm still diehard. I'm still diehard. I'm appreciative of the additions that have been made. I think it's been helping, which I know we're going to go over. But
right.
yeah, I still love the game.
Yeah, I've if you guys don't know, we of course we're sitting with our guy Uncle Dave's stopping in to talk the past couple of weeks of opening day and such, and like he mentioned, just the changes and stuff that have occurred, how's it affecting the landscape of the game nowadays and such. But all in all, I I recently I went to the second game of the season for the Mets at City Field, and you know it was just one of those days in which that you felt that there was an energy coming back to the game. For the longest time, that the fandom has been looking for something to help progress the game. Other sports have been progressing. You see, of course, with like different aspects of rules changes and stuff like that. But baseball always has been one of those games that just seem to be stuck in the old timey kind of ways. Do you feel as though that it's long overdue for some changes to occur in the game?
Long overdue. I would say uh, it's been decades, and it's good to see change has finally made its way to MLB. And you can see it already. And I think it's going to bring a lot of fans back to the game, and it's going to keep a lot of fans that still are dedicated to this game in place as true fans of the game.
Mm. Yeah, I too. I for the longest time we always wonder like how is it that this this game has been able to progress for so long and yet not yet to conform with modern technology and such. I haven't been able to adjust. And I've often tell people I've often said this is needed to occur because out of all sports, yeah, you get basketball when fouls have to be called. You get football where penalties have to be called, but a lot of baseball has to do with eyes,
Yeah,
vision, the
yeah,
ability to call, to make plays, and um it's as meticulous as just a split hit or to catch a corner or to hit a line and such. And I think that they're long overdue for that to occur. But there was other changes that have been occurring the past couple of years as such that we saw happen. One and such was the widening of the bases. How do you think that's helped the game?
I think it has helped. It allows for more efficiency on the base pass, less collisions. If someone is to attempt to steal a base or to conduct a double play, it's a less disruption at the base. It's really helped the game. It's allowed it to run more smoothly and more efficiently.
Man, I could only imagine how great base runners like Lou Brock, Ricky Henderson would have been able to take advantage of situations like this. Like this would have been video game numbers for them
Oh
if
yeah,
they would have been able to play. Vince Coleman, Kenny Lofton, and guys like that would have been able to get on the base paths like this. Uh, Another addition to it has been the pitch outs to first. You get those two attempts, and after that, it's free range. The guys would be
exactly.
they'd be ready to rip and run, man.
Right. In the past, they just used to allow them to throw over the first base numerous times. Uh,
Right.
you can go and get a hot dog and come back, and it's still it's
Yeah,
still
it still
throwing it
happens.
over the first base.
Yeah, it's still going down.
Yeah,
I still feel as though that um there has to be some kind of monetization as well when it comes to pitchers, because there's a lot that goes on with pitching. I'm glad that they implemented the pitch count. That's been amazing. It's helped to
yeah,
progress the game, speed up the game. A lot of people thought it was going to affect pitchers, uh, and I think that actually enhances them. It actually made them better. Your thoughts on how the pitch clock has been going along?
the pitch clock has sped up the game. During the season, as we see it, these games used to go on like 3.5 hours, and you're only up to the sixth inning.
All right.
So the pitch count has really sped up the game. And as we know, the youth, the younger fans, they want things to happen now. They don't want
Mhm.
to wait and wait and wait because you're going to lose them. They live in the now and they want things to happen now. So the speed count has really helped immensely.
Yeah, like I said, I was at the Met game recently, and before I knew it, we were in the bottom of the fifth, and I'm like, wow, sheesh, like it made it made its way to where I wanted to. It the games could still be exciting and yet have a pace to it.
Right.
Um,
And don't get me wrong, how the game is, as slow as it is, it becomes more prevalent playoff time. I
yeah,
mean, every pitch counts, every at bat counts, and what was boring during the season is not so boring in the playoffs. It's really help the playoff aspect of it, but it's still the pitch count has really helped speed up the game and really helped in a positive way.
one of my favorite implementations as a current or policies on the rules now has become the ABS, and I really think that this was something that's been a long time coming. We had seen it in different um, leagues and such, in which it actually helped to give more of a I guess fair and balance of play calls. Because to be honest, I mean, I get it. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all about vision, being able to see,
Yeah,
and you're not going to be able to make every call, and it's okay. Umps, you're all right. It's not. You're not robots. It's going to happen.
right.
So far, I believe that this year the ABS has been a success as of late. I mean, we have one or two instances where some plays were a little wonky, but for through it all, what's your thoughts about it as well?
I think it's really helped. It's allowed the game of baseball to use technology like the other two major sports have. Gives teams an opportunity to, in a really difficult situation, a really definitive situation, to really have it looked at. Because we've seen in the past, a pitch was called a strike, and we see clearly on instant replay that it was not a strike. And it was such a shame in the past that teams had to suffer for that because a strike wasn't called or a strike was called inaccurately. So this new concept, ABS, I think is really moving the game in a positive way.
Yeah, and it's so simple too. It's pretty much all you'd have to do is just tap your helmet, tap your hat,
Right.
and you make the call. Um, you get the call. keep, you save it. If you lose it, if you blew the call, you lose it. That's it. You get two opportunities.
Right.
Um,
It's not
I
over.
think,
Right.
right,
It's not overkill. You get two opportunities, and it increases the strategy of the game.
right. Gives the responsibility as well to the batter, or the manager to make that call right then and there if need be. It's like I said, it's been a long time coming with the game. There has been some who are just a bit more frustrated with other aspects of the game that's happening as well. Um, there's been some talk about how about they took away the shifts, the power shifts. They don't those are not allowed. Um, the ability to I guess what's a big hindrance for me is just the interleague. We talk about this before. I'm not a big fan of interleague. I'm not a big fan of um the American League and the National League seeing each other too often. I'm not a big fan of that. Is there anything else that's still in the game that just still troubles you to this day?
Well, that is one. I like American League playing American League, National League playing National League. I mean, once in a while, I mean, it's good to go out on the West Coast and play, but it's kind of becoming overkill.
Hmm.
Remember how exciting the Subway Series used to be when it was just one series in City Field and then the
Right.
other series in Yankee Stadium, and it's like now they play all the time, and it to me it's watering a lot of the games down, the matchups down.
Yeah.
Um, I do like the baseball classic, Sandy.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
think I think it's really helped the game. I think it's really good, and I like that they have it at the beginning of in spring training because it not only gets the players in shape, but it's really an exciting tipping of the season. I think it's a really really good, and it took off. It really took off the last few years, and I enjoy that. But what else bothers me? Definitely the scheduling.
Mm.
Uh, if I had to think of something else, the speeding the speeding of the game still could use some improvement. They're getting there, but I think the season is too long, Sandy.
Yeah.
162 games is too long. Um, I think if they cut it down to maybe 130, 140, I think it will make for a better product.
Well, what happens to me is we've gone are the days are of complete games, especially by pitchers. That's dead. Now we're on pitch counts. It's amazing. And especially now the way that pitching is, it's just far beyond for what it used to be years ago. I mean, we saw some great pitching years ago, but it was because of how deep pitchers used to go in games, and you saw the tenacity of pitchers and such to go 7, 8, 9 complete games and such like that. But with this day and age now, you get, I mean, pitching, it's just the ball movement is just it's outrageous how crazy the pitchers these days are making the ball move across that plate. And I can understand why there's a need to preserve arms and such. I feel as though that if you did minimize the season, I mean, if you broke it down to maybe like 142 or something like that,
Yes.
we can still see the ability to have a pitcher out there go. Um, I was one that was I was very much in favor of getting the early surgeries for pitchers because it minimizes them for the longest time. I mean, it's just, I mean, it gives them more longevity. Now everybody's pitching at 104, at
Yes.
103. It's outstanding. It's crazy how this is
Yes.
going. Yeah, and what's your thoughts about how not only pitching but how at the plate is going, and what's what's missing? What's approved? What's happening there?
Well, I think one of the rules that they're trying to implement is the check swing rule.
Mm,
Uh, you know, what is a strike? Did he go? Did he go all the way? Did he? So they're trying to straighten that out. Um, but I agree with you. The pitches that these pitchers are throwing, how they're making this ball move, how they've enhanced the cutter pitch. It really makes for a game, but at the same time, they're really wrecking their arm while doing that. Um, I'm trying to think what other aspect. The base coach restriction has also been talked about being implemented. Having the coaches actually stay in the box rather than
mm.
walk the whole baseline. They really haven't enforced it in the past, but I think they're really going to add that. Uh, but the hitters, they really have improved. And they're getting more into not just hitting home runs, which is great to see. Um, I noticed they're starting to bunt a little bit more than they
Mhm.
have in the past, I would say, decade. Baseball is making a comeback. They're really trying to bring it back to what we knew it when we were young fans.
Yeah, small time baseball was largely missed for quite some time. The
Yes.
long ball was become the 3-point shot
Yeah.
for baseball.
And Santi, as we know, the chicks love the long ball, right?
They love the long ball.
Mhm.
That's why they show up to the field.
Right.
It's um, but it's also those it's also great to see consecutive game streaks when you get with hitters.
Yes.
Hitting for average is always like always to be reliable. I've been watching a lot of videos in the past couple of weeks of Tony Gwynn and how he spoke about the importance of getting on base and such.
Right.
Um, how much of contact hitter he was. Even give it. Hate him or love him. Barry Bonds, another one, was a guy even before that era, was a man that was able to get on base or
Great.
put him the bat on the ball. It's still one of those things that it shows importance that getting runners in scoring position. Uh,
Right.
I don't want it to be left to extra innings where you get a man already on second and that helps to progress the game and move it forward. We should already have it to where we're looking to get on base to get a bloop single or a shot to the gap, something.
Right. And a lot of these hitters, they're looking to get a double. They're looking to get a single. They're looking to drive someone in who's in scoring position. They're actually looking at on base percentage again, as far as a statistic, because at one time it was just power. It was
Right.
just power, power, power. And not that it became boring, but it didn't do, it didn't help the game along. Either you're going to hit a home run or you're going to strike out. That's what a lot of these teams focused on, and it's good to see that they're focusing on the base hit, the single, the double, sometimes a triple. Really good to see.
Yeah, I like the when the ball has some eyes and you can be able to make that single and then turn it into a double when it's able to get into certain spots and such. The hustle that happens, and
Absolutely.
and you can you kind of we kind of we're getting lost with the athletic aspect of the game and then the money ball aspect of the game, because a lot of guys like we see with pitchers that aren't going deep, they're on a pitch count, and there were guys who just weren't hustling as they used to. Now you want to win, you want to get the sense of something that says you are, this is why you play the game. There's a lot of players now who are showing the heart and the tenacity to play. You mentioned the World Baseball Classic that really, although some may say didn't really capture the eyes of a lot of people. I know a lot of diehard baseball fans were really invested in it. And as you were watching it, what stuck out for you during that exhibition?
It was the passion of the game. It was the it looked it looked like they were having fun out there,
Hmm.
and that's been missing. Uh, the pride, the pride of the game, the pride of playing for your country. It was incredible, Santi.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the game of baseball has been missing that. And to me, back when we were kids and we were watching, that's what made the game what it was. It was just the passion, the effort, the caring. All that was in the baseball classic.
Yeah, I remember when I would play the game or I would watch it, there was this sense and this feeling of you want to get on base.
Yes,
You wanna feel as though that you're gonna progress. We're gonna get a score here. You're gonna move it along. You want to hustle, and you saw that in the World Baseball Classic. There were still some things that um I felt as though that kind of hindered the classic itself. I think there's still some
there's still some tweaking that can be done.
thinking might be a little bit political as well that was in it, but at the same time, it still held as though that yes, the sense of pride, the fun, the love, the playing of the game. That's what did it um for many of us who watched it. Um, Going back to the MLB, so far we're opening up and everybody's it's touch and go with how people are viewing the teams right now, how everything's going with everyone. Because it's still early in the season. April is always going to be April, right? So,
Right.
what's your thoughts on what's happening so far with the baseball season? How's the league progressing right now?
Well, Santi, one of the major surprises of this year is the historic rookie explosion.
Mm,
Detroit's Kevin McGonigal and
mm,
Cleveland's Chase DeLauder. They're starting this the way they're starting off is just incredible. Rookie hitters recorded 22 home runs and a record-setting 851 OPS in the first 6 games. Now that you can hang your hat on how they were trained in the minor leagues. That they're getting them more game ready and major league ready.
right.
Uh, the Yankees staff, it could be a great staff, Santi. I mean, it seems like they're shutting everyone down at an early rate. Let's hope it continues because I'm a diehard Yankee fan, so that's a pleasant surprise. The international players that are coming up, they seem more major league ready. Um, Remember, there was a bar that they had to get past to contribute, but now they're following Otani's lead, and they're coming in and they're making their mark early.
Yeah.
Another rookie, Sal Stewart, he's had 7 hits in 3 games, and JJ Weatherholt. They have these rookies have made an immediate impact.
Yeah, there's a young man on Pittsburgh, Connor Griffith, who is
Yes,
another one that's he's gonna be making a splash as well. He's already been keyed to be the franchise of that team. They're finally trying to find some keystone players that they could build around in Pittsburgh. I think it's this time of age where like you mentioned, the minors, they've often liked to take players and nurture them for a few years. You won't see them burst out unless they're exceptional, maybe until they're about 23, 24 years old. But
right,
now they're taking them in at 17, 18, 19 years old. And, they're a lot of them are already at AAA, ready to go. As
yes,
for the overseas players that are coming in, um, especially in Japan. Japan was already, they're born ready. They're good to go. They're coming in already 5 seasons vets over
yeah,
there and
yeah,
coming in and they're rookies. So you could only imagine what a guy like uh Ichiro would have done here if he was younger,
Right,
if he got here younger.
right.
Yeah, we got Otani here at approximately the right time, but even so, he was tearing it up over there in Japan.
Yes,
The
he
one
was.
thing that the one thing I could say is the uh the expansion of the Latin players that coming in. It's no longer decentralized for you know Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Now we're getting Mexican players, we're getting Venezuelans, we're getting
Yeah.
it's expanding, it's opening up. It's becoming basically like they say the World Series. It is becoming what it is.
Truly the World Series.
Yeah. Um, and when we saw it with the the WBC, how do you really believe that we're going to start opening the gates more a little bit more, going into Germany and finding players and such like that? Do you think that Italy, who did very well during the WBC, will be seeing more of their players coming over here?
Yes, and it's good for the game. MLB is becoming more and more global. They are venturing out, just like these other sports. Uh, they're really tapping into the global talent that we have in this world, and it can only help the game. Couple of Japanese star powers, Munataka Murakami and Kazumu Okamoto. They're making waves as well. But they're starting to venture out globally to find the talent and to bring it to this league. I really think the league is getting back to being in a good place.
I did the one thing that's just a drawback for it is the fact that with the sense of how the game is now, you know, making the changes that's needed to progress, to grow, to become more modernized, it is now becoming more difficult to watch it because once again, you can't find it. It's everywhere. You're on Netflix. You're on Peacock. You're it no longer is it that you could go to channel 11 picks and watch a game, or channel 9 there. We're all over the board, and you get networks are licensed to have x amount of games for their network and x amount of games for that network, or or you have to diverge into buying the pack, the MLB package. I mean, I think this is what when you're taking two step forward, you're taking a large step back. Is this a big problem that's happening with the fan base to reconnect with baseball?
Yes, it's a big problem because you should always have room for free TV to watch your favorite team, to watch your favorite sport, and to take that away and to force people whether to either go to the ballpark and pay or to sit at home on your couch and have to pay. I think it's horrible. And before it gets away and before you lose your fans, I believe they need to fix that because there's always room for free TV because not everybody can afford Netflix. Not everybody can afford these major league packages that they're offering. And some of these fans, they just want to see their favorite team and their favorite home team, and they should be able to.
Yeah, this is what how we got uh to love the game, how we got into understanding the stats and building with your favorite team, your hometown team, and such. Now, I was talking to a friend of ours, and I was like, I can't even pick it up on a radio. Like it's even that could be difficult sometimes. I
Yes,
want to sit there and listen to the game while I'm on my way to work, or if I'm at the job, or whatever the case may
right.
be. I want to hear the game, and you can't even find it. I find it difficult to even discover a channel that's still running it.
Right. And
It's it's become it's become more of a work. It's been it's like it,
it's a job within itself, right?
it's like you're becoming you're the closer of a close game, and in the bottom of the eighth inning, you got to pitch through an inning and a half to find a game.
To find a game. Yes. Yes,
Uh,
I agree, Santi.
What's your what's your thoughts about how even the designs that's going on fields now and stadiums? I mean, like I said, I was just at City Field. City Field is now going to be considered ancient compared to what the newer stadiums are going to look like. Oakland is going to get a new stadium now. Well, the A's are, because they're not even Oakland anymore. They're going to be Vegas or something. Like, what's your thoughts on like how the game is transcending on for stadiums and such?
Well, they want to make it more fan friendly. City Field did make that step, but like you said, City Field is becoming ancient. Uh, but the way they're building these stadiums is to make it more fan friendly, not so tremendously large where the fan gets lost and they really can't experience the game. So I think they're following Camden Yards, City Field, and they're following that concept. And it's good to see these cities, getting new stadiums and making them more game friendly and, more importantly, more fan friendly.
Yeah, I was speaking to someone at the bar the other day, and she was telling about how she's originally from Chicago, and the workers at Chicago is definitely is one of the last remaining uh of the quintessential baseball stadiums.
Yes.
Next to
Yes.
next to Fenway, next to Dodger Stadium. Those
Yes.
are the last of the Mohicans,
Mm-hmm.
and with them, it's been because that fan base and also the people who work there. There's she says that there's people who've been working there for 50 years,
Yes.
and they don't even look at anything that says retirement because they love the job and they love the game. And I think that's something that used to be one of those things as well, when you will go to a game, and especially frequently, that you will know security, you will know the ushers,
Yes.
you know the vendors. I'm believing that that's kind of something that has become um it's a returning family friendly environment for baseball players and the like.
It really
Uh,
is.
Pricing hasn't been too outrageous as of yet. I've seen that
No,
you
no,
could
they really kept the pricing down. I
yeah
see that as well.
yeah you could actually get a ticket, not not too bad, good seats, and like you said, they've been able to make stadiums that are fan friendly, where you could actually you don't feel as though you need to pull out the binoculars and watch
Yes.
too far away.
And those three stadiums that you mentioned, they've always been fan friendly. Uh,
Right.
the confines of those stadiums have been, they're small. They were in an era where the fans are right there, and that's why they've lasted so long, and I believe will continue to last.
I tell you one thing that's been the big selling point for many of a fan that goes to the games, and that's the food. I tell you, I
Oh,
mean, they have
oh,
long gone are the days of just getting a hot dog and popcorn and a pop. We are looking at 5-star cuisines
yeah,
at
yeah.
these stadiums.
Oh, and the sandwiches, Sandy, that they come up with, and
Oh,
the inventions, and yeah, I mean, yeah, the game is still the game, but the food is is quickly catching up.
I'm telling you, you get to see people who are sitting there and they're having fine dining while their team is losing 9-1. It's utterly amazing.
Yeah,
Speaking of scoring, how do you think the scoring's been so far with the game?
I think it's been a separation. A lot of teams are really um, blowing teams out early on. You're starting to see a separation between teams, and the game shouldn't want that. The game should want teams to be a little bit more equal. But this year, you're seeing a lot of blowouts, a lot, which is surprising to me so early in the season, because
Mm.
usually you have a lot more closer games early on because everyone has a chance to win, a chance to make it. But I have seen a lot of blowouts.
Yeah, to me, I thought it was like a lot of first game jitters you would get, right?
Yes, and a lot of the home teams are the ones getting blown out. A lot of teams on the road are going to other stadiums and blowing those teams right off the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very surprising.
Yeah. April has always been one of those months that people like to rest their hat on the fact that's where their team is gonna solidify themselves.
Right.
But I give more of a July August runs is where you saw
You
where you can
really
see a lot of
see, right.
yeah, you can see the true
Who's
heart.
who?
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Um, especially leading into the All-Star game. You want to see, who's gonna go in hot and then
Yes.
come back into the heat once that occurs.
Right.
Um, I've been very much impressed also with the players' ability to play defense these days. There seems to be more grit and heart to going out there and running out a fly ball, wanting to go into the stands and get a foul ball.
Yeah,
Just the
yeah,
other night, we
yes.
saw.
Defense has made its way back into the game. No longer can you go from first to third without
Right.
getting thrown out.
Yeah. There's some guys out there with some cannons, man. I
Oh
mean, oof,
yes.
and it makes it look easy.
And Santi, all we know is effort. It's
Yeah,
effort. Because you learn the game. You learn how to play defense. Uh, it's good to see that effort, that passion that we used to see.
yeah,
It's coming back.
yeah. I think it's because a lot of younger players are coming in with more of a um, belief and tenacity that um, it's not an old man's game anymore. You
Yes.
know, we know the checks and balances when we're using the scorebook. The other day I saw somebody in the stands using the scorebook, and I was like, wow, man. I mean,
Wow.
that's true passion for the game.
That is.
And I think now with the younger players, they're seen as though that um there's still that athleticism that comes with the game. The one thing that I can say that I it still troubles me to this day is that we've just seen just a lower number of black African American players in the league, man. And it's just we saw I believe in from 2020 to about 2024 that there was a slight increase in black players
Yes.
arriving in the league, but right now it seems to have been plateau. What do you
Seems
think has
to have
been
dipped back down.
Yeah,
Yes.
what do you think has been what happened that they lost passion to play the game?
Well, I believe they haven't been going to the inner cities like they did during that time that you saw the increase.
Mhm.
They need to quickly get back to that because they have the resources to do it. And I believe some of the players that are in the some black players that are in the major leagues, they are responsible for that because they are the ones. They are the ones that these young kids could look up to and follow, and they need to bring that back. But they need to go back into the inner cities like they were doing. And then prior to that, they had stopped. But it looked like during those years that you just mentioned, they were doing that. They were coming into the inner cities with the programs to really involve these kids and show them the game, show them how fun it is, and I think it's a good game. I mean it's a game where you don't have the contact that you have in the other sports, and it you can play it a lot longer. So I think it's a good sport that these young black kids should be more and more exposed to.
Yeah, when I when I was looking to doing the research for this, I realized also that there's we mentioned earlier how the reach is going across seas. There's countries like in Africa, Senegal and Sierra Leone. There's a lot of people in communities out there that are learning the game. They're
Yes.
they're watching how to do training videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they want to play the game. I saw a young man who was doing intense catching drills with just makeshift items that he'd found roadside, and I'm like, see, that is a passion that scouts need to go look for. It
Absolutely.
reminds me of when they would do that for Latino players when Latino players were playing with a milk carton gloves. Like
Yeah.
that's what we miss. What we need to see, and I think you're right. And also with a lot of African American players, black players, they were able to play multiple sports. We had the Bows, we had the Dion's, and they when it comes to
They play
uh,
baseball.
yeah, when it comes to make that decision, you know, there's something that outweighs the other. Is it the money? Is it the longevity? Like there's something that that kind of um spoils their belief to go into baseball and such. So I'm hoping to see a rise in that as well. I would love to see how African American players get back into the league. Who right now is on your radar besides your Yankees that you're paying attention to in the American League that is it's going to be maybe problematic for your boys in the Bronx.
Well, you know the Houston Astros. They're always our nemesis. They're always a very good team. I believe the Guardians, although they're 5-4 last I checked, I believe they're gonna be a very good team in the American League. The National League, of course, the Dodgers. I think they're the odds-on favorite. Uh, the Atlanta Braves are always going to be formidable. Um, but the Miami Marlins are an early surprise. Uh,
Yeah,
I think in some predictions they were picked to be last, but they really have shown a lot of improvement, and their pitching has been really, really good so far this year. The Brewers are always up there. The Brewers are always up there. Um, I think the Pirates are surprising, Santi. I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
I think the Pirates may finally have a playoff team. If you know, um, they're a surprise as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just how a lot of these teams that are were invested in their farm systems are able to progress now. And that's the one thing that uh we 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 were trying to move away from at some time because everybody wanted to have their big name players already set so they would move around money so they could bring somebody from another team in. But I'm more of a fan of paying attention to the farm systems and see how hands are doing down there and what's going to happen when they move them up when they're in the progression. This is the pitcher from the Mets right now, McLean, who was throwing wicked pitches the other day. It was almost wizardry what he was throwing,
Yes,
and that's one of those again a a farm system kind of player and such that needs they needs to shine out there. Any any records out there that you could say that you know will never okay is not going to be touched or can be almost touched. For instance, a lot of people are saying that Aaron Judge may get close to Bonds' record by the end of his career. But any records you know that could never be touched.
I don't. I don't think the hitting streak could be touched.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's a good one. That's a
yeah,
good one.
I don't think the now that we've passed that era, I don't think the home run record will be touched.
Mm,
I think that will last. Uh, and Santa, we know the pitching records probably won't be touched. The way they're doing the pitchers now, the way
right.
they're utilizing the pitchers, um, Skeens is probably right now the best in the game,
Mm,
and they don't let them go past 6 innings. So I think that's going to be safe. I don't think anybody will have 20 strikeouts in a game like Roger Clemens had.
yeah.
You know, so it's just certain records because they let players do a little bit more back then. I don't think they're going to be touched.
Oh man, I was just looking at they were talking about the stolen base record. It's just never. It's that's cemented in time. It's
Yeah,
just it's gonna be ridiculous. That and Barry Bonds on base percentage
oh,
record. It's just like and
incredible.
yeah, it's just it's one of those that is just it's standalone and such. Before I let you go, before we wrap it up on this here, just and of course we'll talk more baseball down the line. Um, they just released recently the inductees to the Baseball Hall of Fame and such. It's in my opinion, it's starting to get thin. I think a lot of selections we're getting to that era where now we're bypassing individuals because of maybe their
That era.
previous history, that era.
Yes.
There, you know, we're looking at, and it's always been because of the relationship that players would have with media and such. Um, and there's certain people that are still being bypassed who's not considered. Anybody in the hall anybody you think that should be in a hall that's not in the hall?
Well, I'm partial, but I think Donnie Baseball should be in. Along with him, I don't know. He just sticks in my mind. I think he did enough. I think he should be in. There's a lot of other players, Santy, that they're starting to look at. They're on borderline. I can't think of them right now, but he stands out in my mind. I don't think David Wright did enough. I mean, you know, the Mets retired his number, but as a Hall of Famer, I don't think he did enough. There's one more player I can't think of. Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I'll give you one that we both share an affinity for because he played for both of us. David Cone, I believe, should be in the Hall of Fame. Phenomenal pitcher.
I agree. I'm sorry, Coney. I didn't think of you.
Yeah, David Cone. Bobby Abreu, I believe, should be on that list. Bobby Abreu was talk about contact hitting.
Yes.
Second to Tony Gwynn to me. I mean, he was you know, reliable and was brought into teams because of that. What he can do. And I will, you know, and I will die on the war field and say, you say what you want about Bobby, about Barry Bonds. You say what you want about it.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you looked at the career of a man in two different eras and two different lifespans, careers. In his first part of his career, he was a Hall of Famer, regardless of what you think. His first years, you could take the first 10 years of his career, he was a Hall of Famer. So
I have one for you.
Yeah.
Carlos Beltran.
Wow. That's
I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, Santy.
Yeah, I not because of his Met career, because people they want to hang his hat on that.
Right.
But his previous career, his previous teams as such, he was a monster. Like he was a threat.
And if you look at his numbers, they match up with people who are already in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think his numbers speak for itself, Santy. That was the name I was trying to remember.
But we'll go down this debate as a
all right.
A little more. But Uncle Dave, let everybody know where they can get you at and where they can find you.
Uncle Dave, you can get me at SamsonDavid64 at yahoo.com. And look forward to me and Santy teaming up once again on Are We Talking Sports?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us on all the social media outlets. Check us out on New York Wrestle Media. Everywhere you go, everywhere you click at, that's where we are on all the social medias, as well as on all podcasting outlets. Numbers we did very well for the last episode of We Talking Sports on the podcasting outlets. I got to show you that, Uncle Dave. That was actually really good. And make sure you check us out, of course, here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of all things connected to not only us here or All We Talking Sports, but also on all of our New York Wrestle Media shows that we have available to you guys. So make sure you click the like button and be a part of us here at New York Wrestle Media. And as always, guys, check you guys.
Love, peace, and joy, y'all. Love, peace, and joy. All right.
Later, guys. Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.